So at this point we have now drawn our column plot. We have a nice graph here showing our variables and the deviation of each of those variables. Now we're going to add some detail to our graph so we know what the axis titles are and we know what we're looking at. So to do that, we're going to left click on the chart. When we do that, you'll notice up at the top corner now, this chart tools has lit up. It's now lit up in green on my version of Excel. And we're going to click on the word layout. Now this gives us a number of different options. We have chart title, axis title, legend, all these different ones across. So what we're going to do is just add chart titles and axis titles so we know what we're looking at. So I'm going to give this chart a title. I want it to be above the chart. And I'm just going to double click in here, delete all of the text, and I'll call it just something simple, my new graph. So I've changed the title at the top. I've left clicked out of there to get rid of that. So I now want to put axis titles on. So again, click on the graph, click on layout, and then axis titles. So the horizontal axis is the one across the bottom. I want to put a title below there. You can see that one's now gone in place. It says axis title. Do that again for the other axis. This time it's going to be the vertical axis. And I want to place that along the side. At the moment they're called axis title, which isn't very descriptive. So I'm going to delete the text in here. I double clicked in that box. I'm now going to delete it by pressing the delete key. And I will call this, I don't know, what should we call it? Samples A to B. And up the side, we're going to call that, I'm going to call it signal for this one. You can call it whatever you like. These are going to reflect what it is your actual experiment was. So we've changed, we've put axis titles on. You might want a series title on here, but if you want to get rid of that, you can highlight it like I've just done and press delete and it'll go away. Or you can change that value. So you can change that value by right clicking on the box, select data, and we can change the name here. If we click on the word edit, we can give it a name, so we'll call it, I'm just going to call it items, doesn't really matter. And then OK that, and you'll see that it's changed its name. So we can change the different axes. And if you don't like the colour, you can click on that, right click, and you have Format Data Series. Here you can click Fill, and now you have a variety of options. So solid fills are always good. Let's make it black because we're going to put this into a black and white publication later on. And close that, and we've changed the colour. So if you want to see that again, click on the graph, right click with your mouse, Format Data Series, that was Fill, and we can change the colour. So I'm going to change the colour to red. And there we go. We've changed the way my graph looks. Now if you want to put this graph into something else, the best way to do that is to click on it so that it's highlighted. We're going to right click and click on copy, and now we can move into other programs like, for example, Word or PowerPoint. So let's bring up PowerPoint. Here's PowerPoint. I'll create a new slide so I've got something to look at. Oops. Let's get rid of all this. Alright, that's gone. And now, if I can do Control V, it'll paste the graph in. Now in this format, the graph is linked to Excel. That is fine, but it tends to make your file sizes quite large, and it can get distorted between different applications. One way of getting around that and keeping your file sizes small and making sure what you see is what you print is to go to Paste, Paste Special, click on Picture JPEG, and then OK. And now we've imported that as a JPEG. You can't now alter it, but it will stay the same as that. You can do the same thing in Word.